already check it, and there's up to 2,000 houses that could fit on the president land, right? So I think right now he could help solve the backlog on the 81,000 people that waiting on house lot. Everything in their power right now to distract from some of what I'm about to show you. But y'all ain't stupid. Everything including trying to defame my name. But Mr. President and your party, I have this to show the people. So we already covered that this is Mr. President, His Excellency Farmer-in-Chief farm, right? But I have a couple more things to point out to y'all. So while we go and measure this again, because we're not staying here, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep moving, right? But while we measure this, we can just go over a couple peculiarities, right? So one of those peculiarities, the first question I have, Mr. President, well, we can go here because remember the man at a Ribbon Lake, fancy kayaking experience, courtesy of His Excellency Farmer-in-Chief. We got just the line just now. So let me come down here, all right? So the question is, right, the only verifiable public records for this man farm seem to suggest that in 2011, Bharrat Jagdeo, right, the first and only, would have awarded His Excellency Irfaan Ali, right, Mr. President. Now you come here because you know you expand the land, pass the finger because you're greedy. You keep going, all right? Now we go into the finger. You can get somewhere between, you see at the bottom here of the screen, it's a 248 acres. There's the area. The perimeter is 4,243.72 meters. All right, so y'all keep that in your head, right? Keep that in your head. Now let me comment here. So it's interesting that this farm started with such a small parcel of land. It was like a 20-acre parcel of land. And after Jagdeo, there's no records that seem to suggest that Ramotar gave Ali any more land. And there's no records that suggest that Granger gave Ali any more land. So given that the president himself does have to sign off on these lands, right? And I'll just go back to the little historical imagery. So given the fact that the president himself would have to be the person to sign off on these lease lands and things, I would like to know if anybody could tell me, because here we go, here's 2020, where are we? It's like you could hardly even find the place in 2020. Here we go, and this was all that was there in 2020. So if the president is the man who they signed these lease documents, you know what I'm saying? Bam, 2025. Look how they exploded, right? Did the president sign his own lease? Anyhow, it can be easier for y'all to understand if we go and look for see how much, because I show y'all how much is a house lot. You know what I'm saying? But let we go and see how much land y'all president collect for himself, right? So we're trying to find something in the city that gonna match up to the 248 acres. The last time I narrow it a lot, right? And I narrow it a lot, but it's between 219 to 248 acres. So let me measure the cemetery here, right? Considering our tax money seem to have somewhere to go and die, right? So let's just measure this out here. Let's see that, add point, add another point, and then another one. Let's close the loop, close this. Oh gosh, we're gonna add another one here and close the shape, and I can even adjust this point. Oh gosh, I make a little mistake here. Adjust this one point and this one here, right? If we bring it up here, we see we have 208 acres of land. This is still not equal to what the president took for himself. Let's check the whole of the Guyana National Park and see how much measurements we could pull here. Aye. 1, let's come here. This is the road here for the national park. 2, come all the way down. 3, next one here. 4, right? This is while you waiting 30 years for a 40 by 80 house lot. Again, how big is this? 128 acres. Okay, president got way more than this. And let's see how much. Let's go to a community like Diamond and see how much of diamond the president basically took for himself. Let's do a random measurement from this street here, go across, and you count and tell me how many houses. But I already check it, and it's up to 2,000 houses that could fit on the president land, right? So I think right now he could help solve the backlog on the 81,000 people that waiting on house lot. Now this is still 191, 201 acres. You see down here, 201 acres. Let me expand it. Let's measure the grid. Let's go from like First Avenue and Diamond. Let's go all the way up here to 7th Avenue or so. Right, come across here to the main road. Let's come down here and see how much land we get. Close the shape. How big is this? We want the area in acres. This is 336 acres. So let's narrow this a little bit and see if we could get to the president's, close to the president's acreage. 277. Come up a little more. There's about 213. So we're within range, right? Let me put it at 200 and right, for 232 acres down here of land. This is the amount of land, right? I want us to now look at the, how many houses are in here. And the funny thing is, this government actually took away about 196 acres combined, a little more than that, from people that were living from Soos Dyke all the way through Garden of Eden, Friendship, all the way to Sophia, because they have the second phase of the Gas Ashore project, which is the transmission line. And they told people they needed to take that land back from them. And many of those people have been farming that land for generations. And they told the people they had to take it back from them. And they were only offering cash, right? They were only offering the people cash. They didn't want to give them farmland, which they were requesting because they said they didn't have enough farmland available to them, right? Now, people going into lands and survey are trying to get farmland as well. And they're also being told that land up the highway, this land that I'm showing you down here, has all been given out. So the question remains, how is it that some people are able to get land? How is the president able to secure hundreds of acres for himself at a time when the everyday man is being told there's not enough land left for him, and even farmers who you guys are repossessing their land for development activities are being told that there's not enough land for them, but the president himself is able to get over 200 acres. And this land looked very different just a few years ago. I mean, this picture here is not even current. The expansion is even greater. Now, at the same time, this is what Silica City currently looks like. These Brazilians are here basically making a point that Guyana doesn't have the right labor force to produce excellence, and they're advertising our country to other people that could come here and maybe do a better job. But look how terrible this environment looks, and this has been marketed to us as Guyana's newest, most modern, smartest community into which billions have been poured, and there's no clear timeline for it to finish. So people are getting the basics. We're having to pay millions and millions of dollars. But just remember, this is the 40 by 80 plot that you and your family gonna wait for generations. Well, it's a little finicky to get it direct, but this is roughly the size, the 40 by 80 plot you waiting for your whole life. This yellow circle down here, right? And it take you 10, 20, 30 years. There's 81,000 people waiting for that amount. And it's not even the amount of space of just a black belly sheep pen on the farm of your president. So if you've discovered a way to make yourself wildly rich from your modest pay and to figure out how to turn it into billions, and you're actually here to serve the people and the farmers and the agriculturists of this nation, you're duty bound to share that with them also, exactly how you got the land, you know. So I'm not going to be distracted by smear campaigns. I'm going to respond to that by filing my report with cybercrime. But you You just join me in perusing the map of Guyana and wondering how it is that some are destined to get everything and some seem destined to get very little at all. And before I go, just let me remind you how long you spend waiting for one of these, you know.
Taxes that this man stole from the country. Only what we know so far